I'm Kathy Weaver, and this is Chapter 2, Networking on Steroids PQ, a guide to networking in a world post-quarantine. Introverts need hugs too. In the midst of the pandemic, what would happen to everyone's businesses? Companies were closing in record numbers, people filing for unemployment benefits hit record highs. Parents became teachers overnight as their students needed to finish the school year. And those who already had work from home businesses found creative new ways actually, to provide exceptional customer service. Generally, many people's lives were turned upside down in just a few hours, taking weeks, months, and yes, even years to return to a limited and definitely new version of normal. Since students did not return to traditional school as we knew it after that fateful spring 2020, what did that do to parents who worked outside the home, owned their own businesses, or worked actually for someone else? What did that new normal look like for daycare providers? Income levels for many Americans were sliced or eliminated altogether. Houses were in foreclosure, rentals sat vacant. Of course, many people were struggling during this time, and yes, even before COVID-19, but attitude and putting that best foot forward is always important. What did that type of circumstance do to the proclaimed introverts out there? And what did that type of environment do to the proclaimed extroverts? The introverts are most comfortable not networking in person. There's quite a difference between not wanting to network in person, in large groups, in large venues, and not being able to leave one's house for the purpose of attending a networking event in a public location. Even introverts were missing human connection during that time. The extrovert was visibly troubled by the no contact, no touch world we found ourselves in. Where would they get that all-important hug that kept them going back and back and back again to those Chamber of Commerce events, weekly luncheons, and the workshops that were literally on just about every corner at all of our most popular networking hubs? Social media platforms were the connection points for keeping everyone updated, informed as to what was going on in any given locale, and of course, the world. Teleconferencing systems instantly increased their usership by huge percentages as business owners took to cyberspace to sell their products or services. And teachers took to cyberspace to keep in contact with students, now homebound. One would think that since we were no longer allowed to meet in public, absolutely anything goes regarding business attire, right? Many of us were quick to discover that one's appearance on webinar and video conferencing platforms was actually changing. Remember, with hair salons closed, people were attempting at-home grooming, and the video calls reflected that. Also, the big joke around that time was, how awesome that we no longer need to wear pants to work. We were only on camera from the waist up. The other things many people noticed was the distractions on those calls were actually real. Pets, kids, other family members could pop up at any time in any live session. The entrepreneur who had already been working from home definitely had the advantage over the office worker. That solopreneur was totally familiar with video chats and screen sharing with coworkers and prospects, and the navigation of webinar systems and other social media platforms, already using those mediums to get the word out about his or her product or service. The office worker soon discovered that this new format was easier on the budget. No more hour or longer daily commutes, thus saving money on gasoline for the vehicles and upkeep, of course. Possibly no more eating at restaurants daily since none were open for inside dining, also helping with the monthly food budget. Next up will be Chapter 3. Stay tuned.